Yeah, hello traders, welcome back to our YouTube channel. As of last week, there wasn't any update on the channel due to some technical issues and also my health issues. Alright, so in this week's session, we're gonna be looking at the market outlook for the second week of October, which is from the 17th of October to the 22nd of October. Alright, on our previous week, we had a very beautiful market structure, and we had like our best trade, but since we didn't give any weekly breakdown, I'm not gonna be uploading up. I didn't upload our best rate for the week, which was the CPI. All right. So as of last week, we had some fundamentals. We had the CPI and the dollar seemed to be gaining more power as of last week. Kept on taking our structures to the upside. And on other currency pairs like the EURUSD, GBPUSD, they were quite very seasonal. Was taking up highs, all right, was gaining more value. So, without wasting much of our time, let's head into the charts and see what the market has for us for the new week. On our screen here, we have the DXY, this is dollar index, US dollar currency index, all right. So we have the DXY on our screen, which, as always, we start from the DXY for us to have an intention of the overall direction of the dollar, all right, because most pairs are correlated with dollar, and whenever dollar is rising, most pairs tend to rise. Whenever dollar is also rising, most pairs tend to fall. For example, Euro USD, dollar is the second currency which, so whenever dollar is buying, whenever dollar is gaining value, Euro USD would be losing value. And in a scenario we have a USDJPY, whenever dollar is gaining value, USDJPY will also be gaining value. So most pairs are correlated to dollar, especially pairs that have anything to do with dollar, right? So on our screen here, we have the DSY, which is the US dollar currency index, and we're gonna have a quick breakdown on what to expect. And as always, we always start from our weekly time frame to see the overall intention of the market. All right. So over the couple of weeks, the dollar index had been moving up to the upside, taking our structures to the upside. We were stuck in a very bullish trend. As you can clearly see, the market was creating series of higher highs. Sorry, at this point, you have some series of this was the low, the previous low that was created. So we have a lower at that point, then kind of a lower high. All right, at this level here, market started creating series of higher highs and higher lows and higher highs, higher lows and lower high and higher highs, higher lows 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 and higher highs. Okay, so basically the market kept on taking our structure to the upside, indicating that on the dollar we were very strongly bullish. All right, market would tend to give complex retracement back into any demand zone that was created on the way to the upside, give a complete retracement back into the demand zone and continue still in that same moment. So as far as we are still very bullish on the dollar index, we clearly see the market still creating series of higher highs and higher lows. Then we could identify our next week to be as bullish as possible. Alright, so we should be expecting more buys for the next week because we currently the market had this new demand zone at this level here. The market created this. I'm gonna highlight this as a low at this level here. Market created this low at that point there. What market came back to mitigate the zone. The market wasn't able to take out the low that was created here, right? So we had a higher low at that level there. Okay. So that's what we can see on our weekly time frame, heading on to our daily time frame to get more view of the market. Our daily time frame, the same thing. We are still seeing, sorry for that. So our daily time frame, the market tends to be more clear, right? Because each candlestick that was on the weekly time frame in this room, each candlestick represents 7 candles, right? 7 candles combined together will make 1 candle on the weekly time frame. So we all know about that. So there's actually no need of going into deep explanation for that. Okay. So on our weekly time frame, you clearly see we have on our daily time frame, you clearly see we have some series of, let's say, higher lows, higher highs, yeah, higher lows and higher highs, 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 higher lows and higher highs. I think this we can call that a higher low because this move here didn't take out the structure to the upside or did it here. We have a higher high there, a higher low, a higher high, higher low, and yeah, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And currently market is still below this demand. Sorry, that supply is at that level. Okay. So for our dollar index, zooming on the chart to our present current market, you clearly see we have a breakup structure at this level there. Have a breakup structure at that point there. Then what the market? The market, this was the demand zone that led to the breakup structure, right? So market came back to mitigate the demand zone and it continued pushing up to the upside, alright. So on our dollar index, as far as the market didn't take out this low that was created here, the market didn't get enough momentum to take out this low created here, that the low that was there. So the market expected the demand zone that was formed here. I think that as a range created demand zone at that level, the market respected it and still pushed the upside. Our expectations from our daily time frame for the market to also take out this high at this level, right? Because at this point we flow with the market structure, right? When I flow with the market, you trade what you see and not what you think. So on our daily time frame, our expectation on the dollar index is for the market to take out highs to the upside. So having seen that on other currency pairs, we should be expecting, for example, on the EURUSD and GBPUSD, we should be expecting push to the downside. We should be expecting a bearish market based on our dollar index having an insight on what the dollar index is telling us, alright? While on our USDJPY, USDCHF, USDCAD, we should be expecting bullish move to the upside, alright? Break off structures to the upside. We should be expecting a bullish market, alright? Because the market, all of them, they all correlate, okay? Heading on to the 4-hour time frame. On our 4-hour time frame, what can we clearly see? The market came back into our demand zone that was created on the daily time frame. We could refine it up to this level, right? So the market reacted off this demand zone that was created at that point there, then started going to the upside. Clearly see when the market came back to the market was having this strong bearish momentum. Market had this strong bearish momentum back into the demand zone, while upon market reaching demand zone, what clearly happened, market had a switch in character, right? It had a change in character. That the market started creating series of highs, like strong bullish candle, right? We had like the institution were in the market, indicating that we're in a bullish trend. So continue on our chart. When the market came back into this demand zone at this level again, market gave a clear reaction, kind of a V-shaped recovery system on this. Market gave a clear reaction, and also if you still look at your chart, you clearly see we had this low here, alright, and the market had this complete retracement, alright. After market took out the high at this level here, we had a very strong complex retracement back into the demand zone. This is what we call complex retracement. After market took out the high, market just kept on pushing up to the upside and had this complex retracement back into our demand zone, which indicates that then many market came back into the demand zone, it started pushing up to the upside. Alright, so if you could clearly look on our chart, we have gotten this beautifully created change of character here. We have gotten this change of character at that level there, and also we have another one. Sorry for that. We also have another change of character at that point. Okay, so that was the recent low that the market created. This was the recent low that the market took out from this lower low at that level there. Then market came out and took out the high, alright, the lower high that was created. And after market took out that high, what the market we had a beautifully created demand zone still at this level here, right? And currently the market came into the demand zone. I can clearly see the market reaction. So the market is still indicating that we are still quite bullish on the dollar index to show that we are still quite bullish. Market is still obeying the bullish structure. It hasn't given any switch to from the bearish structure to from sorry, it hasn't given any indication to the market ready to switch from a bullish structure to a bearish structure. So our expectations on the dollar index for the market to keep pushing up to the upside, right? So we're gonna also look at the other side of the market, which is the sell side sales scenario of the market. On our sales scenario, on our 4 hour time frame, you can see we have this change of character seated there. I have a change of character at that level there. Okay, then we also have our supply zone. Our supply zone is somewhere inside there. Okay, so that's our supply zone at that point there. So we have our supply zone seated at that level there. So remember, market structure is key. The higher time frame is telling us we are quite bullish. That's why I'm kind of lucky. I'll say I'm 70% sure of this market doing very bullish. Okay, if anything wants to happen, the market tends to go bearish. What are our expectations? Our expectations for the market to push into this demand, into this supply zone, and take out this low. If market takes out this low, then we can indicate that we are ready to go bearish. Okay, as far as the market is still above this demand zone, alright, and also above this demand zone. This demand zone was created. My part market is still above this demand zone there. You respected it very well. Also above this demand zone. Then we are still very bullish, okay. But in a scenario that the market tends to give us bearish movement to the downside, we should expect the market to either mitigate here, give a reaction to the downside, and probably a supply demand flip or is a demand failure, right? You create a demand failure to the downside, then we clearly see we are very quite bearish. Okay, the market is ready to turn direction, ready to sell. So that was our expectation on the dollar index DXY. We're gonna move on to the next pair, which is the GBPUSD, and as always, we're starting from our weekly time frame. On the GBPUSD, just as I said, if the dollar index is buying, then definitely on the GBPUSD, EURUSD, NZDUSD, AUDUSD is most likely to be very bearish. Okay, so on our dollar index on the GBPUSD, you can clearly see that we were in a bearish movement. Okay, market was creating series of lower lows and lower highs, 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 lower lows and lower highs and lower low, right? So market kept on taking us to the downside, hasn't even taken out any high to indicate that we have any intention of going bullish on the GBP USD. So market still remained in that bearish zone, okay. And on our forward, or still looking at the weekly time frame, you clearly see we have this beautifully created supply zone there, which the market tends to be giving reaction to the supply zone. Alright, we have the supply zone created at that level there. The market is giving a very nice, beautiful reaction. You clearly see the candle rejection. That I think that's an inside back candlestick. A clearly candle rejection when the market came back into the supply zone. Alright, so basically the market won't even mitigate. The market might not even tend to push up to mitigate this level here, can actually still respect that supply zone which is trying to respect and continue pushing to the downside. Okay, as far as the market is still below this supply zone, also below this high at this level here, the market is still below this high at that level here, then we are still very bullish. Okay, the market hasn't given us any intention that is ready to go bullish, alright. It's still very bearish. Remember, market structure is the key. You have to flow with the market trend. The trend is your friend until it changes. Okay, so you have to flow with the trend until the trend probably changes, until you have like a change of character indicating that okay, in this market we have come to the end of this trend. Okay, I'm sorry for the unnecessary advert on TradingView. Can actually purchase and very difficult to get the premium accounts. Okay, so on our daily time frame, the market tends to be more clear. As you can clearly see, we have had this on our daily time frame, clearly let me delete all this other things. Daily time frame, clearly see we have this break of structure to the downside, a break of structure to the downside, and we also have our supply zone beautifully created at this level there. Alright, so what the market came back to mitigate that supply zone. We had the break of structure to the downside, market came back to mitigate our supply zone. So probably what we could actually see maybe on our 4 hour time frame, we're expecting a change of character is occurring and market is returning back into our under supply zone, okay? Because if you look at this market, I can probably look at here as a low that's created on a smaller time frame. Okay, so currently on the daily time frame, the GBPUSD is still very bearish. Okay, we still haven't seen any intention of the market going bullish. So on our GBPUSD, we are still holding our bullish move to the downside. Okay, market gave its complex retracement that took days. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and now the market is tending to follow it overall intention. Then on our 4 hour time frame, what can we clearly see here? Just as I said, this should probably be a change of character, which is exactly what it is. On our 4 hour time frame, we have a change of character situated at this level there, seated at that point there. We have a change of character there. Have a change of character at that level there. Then we also currently market is coming from this supply zone that was created there. Okay, we had liquidity at this point which the market tend to sweep out the liquidity. Had liquidity seated there, the market tend to sweep out the liquidity, and we are still quite very bearish. Okay, still very bearish on this pair. Okay, we have a liquidity at that point there. So the reaction that is from that was happening from here, the reaction that happened for here, like having this bullish intention, probably giving a change of character, in which some traders can get confused and highlight here as a demand zone, in demand zone for the market to actually push on. So on the other scenario, as the buy side scenario, probably because we could clearly see we have a change of character here, but I'm not really gonna be expecting this change of character to hold. I'm not expecting the demand zone to hold based on the fact that the reaction here wasn't coming from any reasonable demand zone on our 4 hour time frame, on our higher time frame. So there probably if the market was coming from this demand zone, then I would have said, okay, the change of character is going to hold. We have a change of character there. But I'm not going to look at this as liquidity. The market swept liquidity to the upside. Expectation is for the market to keep going there. Remember, we had liquidity right now. So I said market took our liquidity to the downside and also took our liquidity to the upside, reacted to our beautifully created supply zone at that level there, and it's still pushing down. So basically on our GBPUSD, the overall intention is gonna be very bearish. Okay, on our GBPUSD, we're gonna be looking to sell GBPUSD more this week than looking at buy opportunities. And if anything wants to happen like indicated by, then we should probably be, this is the buy scenario, alright? So kind of 30% buy scenario and 70% sell scenario. Over to the next pair, EURUSD. Okay, the EURUSD was very great because the CPI had a very strong effect on the EU, on the EURUSD. So on our weekly time frame, we're gonna start from the weekly time frame as always. Now weekly time frame, we could clearly see we are still very bearish. Okay, we had a series of lower lows and lower highs, 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 lower lows and lower highs. Yeah, and lower low at that point. So on our weekly time frame, we're still we are still very bearish on this trend. Again, keep us taking our story to the downside after the structure and also to count that structure here. So if we can highlight this as our breakout structure at this point, although it's not that clear, zoom out your chart where you clearly see what I'm talking about. Market had this breakout structure to the downside, and also we have supply zone which the market is reacting to just as in the dollar index. Okay, so the new low that was created on the EURUSD is at this point here. So the expectation is for the market to take out that low, alright? For the market to take out that low probably the next couple of weeks, either next week or depending on how the week tends to be volatile, okay? So we can't actually say when it's gonna take out that low because we don't know, we can't determine how fast the market will move, okay? We can only say this is what we should be expecting in the market, all right? So on a weekly time frame, we are still very bearish as, sorry, this is a surprise zone. We are still very bearish, so we should expect the market to go straight to the downside. On our daily time frame, we clearly see we have a breakout structure becomes very clear. Breakout structure becomes very clear here. We have our breakout structure seated there, and if we bring out our supply zone, we have our supply zone at this level here. Okay, so that's our supply zone. We had the breakout structure at that point there. So we have our breakout structure at that level there. Then we have our supply zone created there. So what the market had the pushback, complete retracement back into our supply zone, and the market still intending to follow the same bearish intention. All right, market is still looking very bearish. All right, on our 4 hour time frame, you can clearly see we have gotten this change of character to the downside. We have 1 year market took out this low at that point there, okay, then also took out the high after market took out to the upside. So we had our complex retracement back into the demand zone, which was still into supply zone. Market was creating series of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs. Okay, then market had a push from there that completely took out all the whole lows. Even I think it almost took out this low. No, it's currently reacting to that low at that level. So the market still kept on pushing to the downside, took at that low, created that level there, indicating that we are still quite bearish on this market. Okay, we are still quite bearish. So let's have a look at what we should be expecting. We have our supply zone created at that level there. So if we are intending to, if market is ready to quite sell, then we should probably be looking at this supply zone as the highest supplies that I want the market to reach, because we have liquidity seated at this point here, which the market hasn't taken out the liquidity at that level there. Remember, we have got this change of character here. I've got this change of character there, and we also have liquidity seated at that point. So the market hasn't taken out that liquidity that was created. So our expectation is that the market should take out liquidity because it has clearly taken out liquidity to the downside, give a reaction of this demand zone created here. I think okay, give a reaction of that demand zone at that point, at some point in time, then also take us on the downside. So currently market is trading back into a demand zone, indicating that market should probably push up back into our supplies at that level there, and also take our structure to the downside. So our expectations on EURUSD is for the market to give a push into that supply zone and take our structure to the downside. Okay, so that was our buy and our sell scenario on the EURUSD. The sell scenario will be the one that will tend to hold longer. So in a situation in which the market doesn't come back into the supply zone, what are we gonna do? If we clearly see the market take out this low here, then we should be expecting in market structure by nature, right? If the market doesn't come back to the supply zone and tends to take out this low here, then we should be seeing the market with a beautiful structure of this nature, right? Remember to flow with the market structure. You are not the market maker, alright? Heading on over to our next pair, which is the NZDUSD. On our weekly time frame, you can see is very bearish. Okay, market just kept on creating series of bear candles, and although at some point the last candle that was created before the week close, I think this candle here, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can clearly see the market created an inside back candle. Okay, the market with that's an inverted hammer candle, right? The inverted hammer candle, and using our retail traders will tell you it's going to sell. Okay, you could clearly see we had the bullish momentum. Market open at that level there, had a push to the upside, and what happened? The bears came in and said, no, the market structure is always key. So we are still very bearish and having no intention of going bullish, so we should obey what we are actually doing here. So the market started pushing to the downside and took out this low created at that point there. So on our NZDUSD, we are still quite bearish. The market has taken out this low and we are having a supply zone of this nature here, which will be refined better. Alright. So on our daily time frame is gonna be more clear because on our daily time frame, I'm gonna do that. On our daily time frame, looking at our charts here, we are gonna focus on the present market data. We have this break of structure to the downside at that level there, and we currently clearly see the market was coming from this supply zone that was created at that point there, and had the break of structure to the downside, and this was the supply zone that led to the break of structure. So the market basically came back into the supply zone, mitigated the supply zone, and it kept on. It's still pushing to the downside, alright. So it's still looks very bearish on the NZD although the market structure isn't that clear as kind of tight, jam packed together, alright. Very tight. So market structure isn't has taken out this low and it should probably still give more push to the downside. On our 4 hour time frame, we could clearly see what we're expecting. Market took out this low, liquidity at this level there also took out this high, creating something on the nature of a change of character. And if we look at our chart, we have a demand zone at that point there. So on our buy side scenario, okay, our expectation for the market take out this low for our sell side scenario, and probably after the market takes out this low, let's say the market takes out this low at this point there, then we should be expecting the market to give a retracement back into a supply zone at that point there. Alright. So the market takes out that low, we should expect the market to give a retracement back into the supply zone. If something of this nature happens, then this should be our expectation on the NZDUSD, but it's still above this demand zone, right? Since the market is still above this demand zone, we should be expecting a push from the demand zone to the upside, okay? So that was the expectation on the NZDUSD. Heading on to the next pair, which is AUDUSD. Oh, I need to list my previous analysis on it. So we're gonna head on to our weekly time frame. From our weekly time frame, you clearly see the AUDUSD was very bearish. Okay, it had a very, it just created a series of long candlesticks. Alright, it had a very long bearish candlestick that the market ended last week with a very long bearish candlestick. Okay, so if you can look at the charts, we go about our higher highs and higher lows again. We have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low at some point, kind of liquidity sweep at that level there. So at the lower high at that level there, then lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and also a lower low at that point. Market hasn't given any retracement to create a new high. So on the AUDUSD, we are still very bearish. You can clearly see the momentum hasn't even changed. Market still going boom, still pumping it very to the downside. Probably market is, I don't know where the market is going to, but the momentum is still very strong on the AUDUSD from weekly time frame and into our daily time frame to see if we can get any more insight of what the AUDUSD is telling us. On the AUDUSD, we have this block of structure to the downside at that level there from the daily time frame, and if we look at our chart, we also got liquidity at this point here. Okay, so probably the market reacted off this supply zone here. Market reacted off that supply zone and led to the break of structure to the downside. I'm gonna delete this sheet. So we have a break of structure to the downside, and that was the last supply zone which the market came back and reacted to it and continued pushing to the downside. So as far as we are still below this low, then let's say we actually missed this trade. So if except they have had a trade, then I can probably be holding for it to continue pushing to the downside. But as far as we don't join the trade, alright. We don't like force the trade. We wait for a trade to come to us and we actually take it. So on our 4 hour time frame, what can we clearly see? We are still can clearly see we are still very bearish, and we want to see the market take out this low. Okay, so once the market takes out this low, what is the expectations for the market to give a retracement back into our supply zone at that level there? So if the market happens to take out this low that is created there, then we should expecting a push back into the supply zone to continue very bearish. Okay, so until this low is taken out, we are doing nothing. We are basically gonna be doing nothing on this AUDUSD because the market structure isn't that clear. We have to put in some data to it. All right. So till this low is taken out, we are still very bearish. Okay, so once the low is taken out, we'll probably be expecting a, let's say market takes out this low, we're gonna be expecting a complex retracement which probably can trade as for a day trader, complex retracement back into the supply zone, then continue the push to the downside. Alright. So this is our expectation on the AUD. Moving on to the next pair, we have the USDJPY, which has been quite bullish and it just kept on pushing to the upside. I think from throughout this year, the USDJPY has been bullish, hasn't had any opportunity to be bearish. So I'm taking our circle to the upside. So we can actually look at a quick data at this point here. We have a breakout structure to the upside at that level there. The market came back and mitigated a demand zone at that point. There's a demand zone there which should be clearer on the smaller time frame. And also market took out structure again to the upside at this point here. Created demand zone which the market left unmitigated. Have a demand zone which the market left unmitigated. I'm gonna change this. Okay. Yeah. So the market left down, demand zone mitigated, and probably on our smaller time frame, like the 4 hour time frame, we're gonna see that as a breakout structure to the upside on either the day time frame or the 4 hour time is going to be more clear, and we also have our demand zone there. So on the weekly time frame, we are expecting probably the market to open with a bearish candle to give a push down to the demand zone and continue to the upside. Or probably the market can just keep running up to the upside. On our daily time frame, market tends to be more clear because the market we have our breakout structure here. Then we could refine our demand zone. We have our demand zone seated at this point here. Okay, and demand zone. Remember on our last analysis on the UGB, we were looking at this demand zone there. So that's what the market came, mitigated demand zone and just continued pushed up. So if I had even used our last analysis that we did, I think last 2 weeks ago on the USDJPY, probably have a buy trade of that nature and taking out without refining the zone, you have probably been up 7% of your account. Okay, although the stop loss will be quite huge for the 100 pips, if you can refine it so a smaller time frame, then it will be smaller. So the more you refine it, the more smaller your stop loss gets. If you can still refining it, you clearly see you have a 48 pips stop loss trade and a 116 hour trade, which end bad on your account. Okay, so still, that is that. That means that's done. So on our USDJPY, we are having this reconstruct to the upside at that level there. Have reconstruct to the upside. Expectation for the market to give a push back into the demand zone and continue pushing to the upside. Oh God. So back into the demand zone, and on our 4 time frame gonna be quite more clear, right? So on our 4 time frame, you clearly see I'm gonna highlight everything here as liquidity for the market to move, to sweep, and I'll probably be watching. I'm looking at the demands. I'm looking at this one here. Okay, so even if you can refine our previous demand that was created there, then you should have something. I don't know why I'm kind of still quite interested in this trade because I think I have a position on this. So you probably had your stop loss at this point here, 35 pips. Although our first mastermind, I think this trade ran for a higher R. This is a 1:20. I think we had a 1:2. It should be a 1:2 50 hour in the first mastermind. Yeah, on our if you're on our Telegram channel, you clearly see we had our best trade taken so far, which is a 156 hour trade, which the breakdown was shared with our pre members. So if you actually want to gain access to the way we trade, the way we enter the market, the way we analyze the market, then you should join Forex Mastermind. All right. The link will be in the description. www.forexmastermind.com. You choose a package of your choice. The monthly, the day, the monthly, or the monthly, listing, the 6 month plan or the year plan. All right. It's as low as $150. Right. So we have our liquidity seated at that point. The expectations for the market take out the liquidity and also come back and mitigate our demand zone created at that point. Yes, so after the market has taken out the high breakthrough to the upside, the market has taken out this liquidity. The market took out liquidity and react to this demand zone. So for now, we can't actually see any sales scenario because there's actually no data seated there. Market is just still very bullish, except sometime in the week the market tend to create a little data of this nature here. Then we can be thinking of catching the sales. But for now, we're gonna be looking more out for the buys, alright? On our next pair, we have the GJ. The GJ, alright. And the GJ has been very scattered, had a very scattered price action, alright. So on the GJ, we are quite bullish on the GJ. Clearly see the market had this low here which was created as a 2020, then took out this high here. We have a higher high, higher low, higher high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, and a higher high, and also a higher low. Okay, so that's what we got there. And market currently came from the demand that was created there after I probably took out liquidity at the top here. Market liquidity, I think they should. I'm gonna take this as liquidity, and market took out shifting momentum liquidity. So probably market came back to mitigate the demands at that level there, and still looks very bullish. Okay, on the weekly time frame. So we are still currently below everything here. Everything here is still currently below that zone, and it's still gonna be liquidity, which our expectations for the market take it out. All right, on our daily time frame. On our daily time frame, we clearly see we in our daily time frame we had this break of to the downside, change of character, which would have probably tricked some traders thinking that the market is ready to sell. Unfortunately, the market just gives this little correction back to the downside. We have our supply zone that led have supply zone seated at this point here. We currently the supply zone is gonna fail, right? The market supply zone is failing. I you clearly see there. So probably my expectation on the supply zone, sorry. My expectation on the GG is for the supply zone to completely fail and we have something, we're gonna have something of this nature, the market come back into the market and continue pushing to the upside. So my expectation on the GJ, so on our GJ trade, we clearly market is currently at this supply zone, had a reaction, a rejection, which clearly indicates that market is gonna form a supply demand flip, which we are seeing here is actually in progress. So probably by Monday, the market should probably take out this high created at that level. Then we're gonna have our demand zone here. All right. So after the market takes out the high, which is liquidity at that level, then we should expect the market to come back to the demand zone and mitigate it and also continue push to the upside. Then on our USD card, is quite bullish. Now USD card is quite bullish. Go to the weekly time frame, we clearly see the market still very bullish. Alright, market kept on taking a structure to the upside after I had change of character. The change upside with a series of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, higher highs and higher lows, and also a stronger higher high. The market kept back continue taking our structure to the upside. We had this hammer that was formed at this level, then pushed to the upside. But if you look at the left hand side of our screen, you clearly see we have a supply zone which the market tend to be reacting to. Market tend to be reacting to the higher time supply zone which the market is currently at. So on our on the weekly time frame on the USD card, we can actually give a specified direction of what to expect. Heading to the daily time frame, daily time frame we have a kind of change of character here which we may hold. So if you look at the chart, we have a new uh, high created there and also a new low created there. Okay, the market has taken out that high, indicating that we are still probably looking to buy this market, and the rejection candle there, the candle that was showing there having a strong rejection at that level there indicates that probably the market should still go below this level there. Alright, so our expectations on the USD card, the market to probably push back from that level there, and any yeah, these are especially on the USD card. Due to the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame tends to be more clear and more data on the 4 hour time frame, because we clearly see we have some series of liquidity here. Market didn't take out any low. The market is still obeying demand zones, alright. And currently the market is still below this supply zone there. So the expectations is still the same. Vision is still the same. Either the market completely takes out that high, then comes back, mitigated demand zone and push to the upside, or for the market to also take out structure and expect that supply zone and give a push to the downside. Okay, so this is what we have on the USD card. Into the next pair, which is the USDCHF, second to the last pair. On our weekly time frame, we're clearly bullish. Okay, we are very very bullish. Alright, just I think I said something about this last week. So on our weekly time frame, we are very bullish. The market created this change of character at this point there. Yeah, a change of character at this point there. Then we also have our demands at that point. So on our weekly time frame, we are still very bullish because we have supply demand flip and also a change of character. And I'm gonna look at this as liquidity, which I expect the market to take out. Looking at the market structure from throughout the year 2021, look at market structure. You clearly see we have got this change of character filter at this down level here. Market created a series of higher highs and higher lows, consolidation, then broke out and created a higher high, higher low, and probably we should expect another breakout to occur at that point there. Heading to the daily time frame, our daily time frame, what can we see on our daily time frame? We still have liquidity, still the same data with the 4 hour time frame. Market isn't even showing any proof of sell coming in. Then on our 4 hour time frame, on our 4 hour time frame, if you look at our chart, we have a breakout structure to the upside, have some series of liquidity here, built-in liquidity. So I'm gonna take this as the low. Okay, this is the low of the market. So on our USDCHF, we are still very bullish. We are USDCHF hasn't given us any true intention of what it's ready to do, or except we want to wait for the market to come back here, but for hasn't given us any true intention of what it wants to do. So we should probably wait for the market to take out this low there. If the market takes out this low at this level there, then we should probably be seeing a price data of this nature. Or if the market doesn't want to obey that, you should take out structure to the upside, the high there, then we should wait for a demand at this point. The market will probably come back to mitigate the demands on that level there and continue its push to the upside. As our analysis on the USDCHF and on EU, the last pair, EJ, so Euro JPY. On our weekly time frame, we have had this break of structure to the upside here, and we have our demand zone at this level. Okay, this is what we can see on our weekly time frame. But where is this week coming from? Okay, we have to build the whole story behind the market. So this week was coming from. I think it's probably mitigating any of this. Sorry, probably mitigating any of these supplies at that point. Okay, so market will be actually when the refined supply zone at that point is the market is currently coming from a nice supply zone. But still we are still very bullish and we are still above this low here, which is expecting the market to still give us a bullish intention, like push to the upside on our weekly time frame. On our daily time frame, what can we see? On daily time frame, market tends to give more information because you clearly see the market took out this low created there, came back to mitigate supplies are at this level there, and market is still taking out low to the downside to have a breakout structure at that level there. And we also have another supply zone at this point here. Okay, good. So the market is looking bearish on the 4 hour time frame. Market took out this low and currently we are kind of retracing back into our supply zone on the daily time frame, sorry. While on our 4 hour time frame, you clearly refine these things. Everything here is mitigated. So if you're refining your supply zone, you should be looking at this level there. So market should probably give a push back into the supply zone at that level there, then continue its movement to the downside. That was especially on the 4 hour time frame. But also remember we are coming from a weekly demand zone. So if the market takes out this high at this point here, the market takes out this high, that's when we can have bullish intention. But as far as we are still below this high, we are still gonna be looking to sell this market. So with that being said, that's all the 10 pairs we're gonna be looking at for the week of 10 top currency pairs with forex market, and we are actually done for the that will our expectations for the market for the rest of this week. For those who stick to the end of this video, I hope you learn you know too, and I wish your next trading week should be successful. Alright. So thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button